Osho, Vigyan Bhairav Tantra, Volume 2, Book of the Secrets, a new commentary. Discourse number 25, given in Bombay, India.
Life is not a problem, but a mystery. For science, life is a problem. For religion, it is a mystery. A problem can be solved. A mystery cannot be solved. A mystery can be lived, but cannot be solved. So religion offers no solutions, no answers. Religion has no answers. Science offers answers. This is the basic difference. And before you make any effort to understand what religion is, this basic difference in the very approach of a religious mind and a scientific mind is to be deeply understood. When I say science looks at life as a problem, something which can be solved, whole approach becomes intellectual. Then the mind is involved, but not you. You are out of it. The mind manipulates. The mind tackles. The mind penetrates, analyzes. The mind argues, doubts, experiments. But you as a totality are out of it. Hence the very puzzling phenomena. A scientist may be a very keen intellectual as far as his own department of research is concerned. But in ordinary life, he will be just an ordinary human being as anyone else. Nothing special. Just ordinary. In his own branch of knowledge, he may be a genius. But in life, he is just ordinary. Science involves only your intellect, not your totality. And intellect has a violence. It is aggressive. That's why very few women can be scientists. Because aggression is not natural to them. Intellect is male, aggressive, violent. That's why men are more scientific and women are more religious. Intellect tries to dissect, divide, analyze. And whenever you dissect a living thing, the life disappears. Only dead parts are in your hands. That's why science never touches life. Really, whatsoever it touches becomes dead. So if science says there is no soul, there is no God, it is meaningful. Not that there is no soul or no God. It is meaningful because this shows that the very approach of scientific mind is such that you cannot touch life anywhere. So wherever science touches, death happens. In the very method, in the very way, the very approach of division, analysis, dissection, life is bracketed out. So one thing, intellect is violent, aggressive. And the ultimate outcome through intellect can only be death, not life. It is partial, not total. And parts are dead. Life is an organic unity. You can know life through synthesis, not through analysis. Greater is synthesis. Higher forms of life evolve. God is the ultimate synthesis. The total unity, the wholeness of existence. God is not a person. The ultimate synthesis of all that is. And matter is the ultimate analysis of all that is. So science comes to atomic materiality. And religion comes to cosmic consciousness. Science moves downwards to the lowest denominators. Religion moves upwards to the highest denominators. They move in opposite dimensions. So science transforms everything into a problem. Because if you have to tackle it scientifically, first you have to decide whether it is a problem or not. Religion takes mystery as the base. There is no problem. Life is not a problem. The emphasis is it cannot be solved. A problem means something soluble. Something which can be known. Something knowable. It may not be known right now, but it is not unknowable. At the most it may be unknown. But that unknownness will disappear and it will be transformed into a known thing. So really, religion cannot ask a question like this, what is life? This is absurd. Religion cannot ask such a question, what is God? This is nonsense. The very approach of religion is not to create problems. Religion can ask how to be more alive, how to be in the very current of life, how to live abundantly. Religion can ask how to be a God. But it cannot ask what God is. We can live mysteries. We can become one with them. We can lose ourselves in them. We can have a totally different existence. The very quality changes. But nothing is solved. Because nothing can be solved. And all that appears to be soluble, All that appears to be knowable is only because we are taking it in fragments. If we look at the whole, then nothing is knowable. And we go on pushing the mystery backwards. A step ahead, we push the mystery. All our answers are temporary. And they appear to be answers only to lazy minds. If you have a penetrating mind, you will come upon again the same mystery. Just the mystery has been pushed a step back. Just behind the answer, the question is hidden. You have simply created a facet of answers. Just a curtain on the mystery. If you can feel the distinction, then from the very beginning, religion takes a different shape and different colors and a different view. The whole perspective changes. These techniques we are going to discuss here are not to solve anything, because they don't take life as a problem. Life is there. It has been a mystery and will remain a mystery. Whatsoever we do, we cannot demystify it. Because to be mysterious is the very quality of it. It is not something accidental that life is mysterious. It is not something which can be separated from it. It is the very life itself. So to me, the more you enter into the mysterium, into the mysterious, the more religious you become. A really religious man will not say that he believes in God. He will not say that God exists. These things seem to be very superficial. They seem to be like answers given to certain questions. A religious man cannot utter such profanities that God is. It is such a profound phenomenon, such a mysterious thing, that to say anything will be profane. So whenever someone asks Buddha whether God exists or not, he remains silent. You are asking such a thing which cannot be answered. Not that there is no God, but to answer such a thing will make it answerable. Then life will become a problem which can be answered. Then the mystery disappears. So Buddha says, don't ask me any metaphysical questions. Questions can be only physical. Physics can answer them. Metaphysical questions are not there, cannot be. Metaphysics means the mystery. These techniques are to help you to move more deeply into mystery, not into knowledge. You can look at it in a different way. These techniques will help you to be unburdened of your knowledge. They are not to help you to increase your knowledgeability, because knowledgeability is the barrier. The door is closed then for the mystery. The more you know, the less you are capable to penetrate deep in life. The original wonder must be recaptured, just like a childlike sense of wonder. Nothing is known, and everything becomes a mystery. And you move in mystery, and the deeper you move, the deeper the mystery becomes. A moment comes when you can say you don't know anything. That is the right moment. Now you have become meditative. When you can feel a deep ignorance, when you become aware that you don't know anything, you have come to the right balancing point from where the door of the mystery can open. If you know, then the door is closed. If you are ignorant, fully alert that you don't know anything, the door suddenly opens. The very feeling that you don't know opens the door. So take these techniques not as knowledge, but as helps to make you more innocent. Ignorance is innocent. Knowledge is always a sort of cunning, cleverness. If you can use your knowledge to be ignorant again, then you have used it rightly. This is the only use of all the scriptures, of all the knowledge of all the Vedas, to make you again childlike. Now the first technique. Put mind stuff in such inexpressible fineness above, below, and in your heart. Three things. First, if knowledge is important, then head is the center. If childlike innocence is important, then heart is the center. The child lives in the heart. We live in the head. The child feels. We think. Even when we say that we feel, we think that we feel. Thinking comes to be primary to us. Feeling becomes secondary. Thinking is the tool for science and feeling is the tool for relation. You must start to be a feeling organism again. And both the dimensions are different. When you think, you remain separate. When you feel, you melt. Think about a flower, a rose flower. When you think you are separate, there is a gap, a distance, a space. For thinking, space is needed. For thoughts to move, distance is needed. Feel the flowers, the gap disappears, the distance drops. Because for feeling, distance is the barrier. Closer you come, the more you feel. A moment comes when even closeness appears to be a sort of distance, and then melting happens. Then you cannot feel the boundaries where you are and where the flower is, where you end and where the flower begins. Then boundaries melt into each other. The flower enters in you in a way, you enter in the flower in a way. Feeling is losing the boundaries. Thinking is creating the boundaries. That's why thinking always insists on definitions. Because without definitions, you cannot create boundaries. So thinking says define first. And feeling says don't define. If you define, feeling stops. The child feels, we think. The child comes close to existence. He melts and allows the existence to melt in him. We are isolated, imprisoned in the head. We are like islands. This sutra says that come back to the heart center. Start feeling things. This will be a great experiment if you start feeling things. Whatsoever you do, give a certain amount of your time, energy, to feeling. You are sitting here. You can listen to me, but that will be part of thinking. You can also feel me here, but that will not be a part of thinking. You can feel my presence. Then definitions are lost. Then really, if you come to a moment of feeling, you don't know who is speaking and who is listening. This can happen right this very moment. Then the speaker becomes the listener and the listener becomes the speaker. Then really they are not two. Rather two poles of one phenomenon. On one pole is the speaker and another pole is the listener. But these are just poles, isolated. They are not real. The real thing is just in between these two, the life, the flow. Whenever you feel something else, then your ego becomes important. Object and subject lose their definition. A flow, a wave, exists. On one pole the speaker, on another pole the listener. But the life is the wave. Head gives you clarity. And because of this clarity, much confusion has come into being. Because the head defines clearly, marks boundaries, makes maps. Everything is clear-cut with reason. No vagueness. No mystery is allowed. All that is vague is rejected. Only the clear is real. Reason gives you a clarity. And because of clarity, a great misunderstanding arises. Clarity is not reality. The reality is always unclear, vague. Concepts are clear. Reality is mysterious. Concepts are rational. Reality is irrational. Words are clear. Logic is clear. Life is not clear. Heart gives you a melting vagueness. It reaches reality more intimately. But it is not clear. And because we have chosen clarity as the goal, we have been missing reality. You must have unclear eyes to enter reality again. You must be vague. You must be ready to enter into something which cannot be conceptualized, into something which is not logic, into something which is staggering real, staggering alive. Clarity is dead. It remains fixed. A life is a flux. Nothing is fixed. Nothing remains the same the next moment. How you can be clear about it? If you insist too much on clarity, you will lose contact with it. And that is what has happened. This sutra says, the basic thing is to come back to the heart center, but how to come to it? Put mind stuff in such inexpressible fineness, above, below, and in your heart. The word mind stuff is not a good translation of the original Sanskrit word chitta. But English has no other equivalent. So it is good in a way, it carries the meaning. Not mind, but mind stuff. Mind means mentation, thinking, thoughts. Mind stuff means the background upon which these thoughts float. Just like in the sky, clouds move. Clouds are the thoughts, and the sky is the background upon which they move. The sky consciousness has been called mind stuff. Your mind can be without thoughts, then it is chitta. Then it is pure mind. When it is with thoughts, it is impure mind. If your mind can be without thoughts, then it is very subtle. The subtlest thing possible in existence. You cannot conceive a more subtle possibility. Consciousness is the most subtle thing. So when there are no thoughts in the mind, you have pure mind. This pure mind can move towards the heart. The impure mind cannot move towards the heart. And by impurity, I don't mean any immoral thoughts in the mind. By impurity, I mean all thoughts. Thought as such is impure. So even if you are thinking of God, it is an impurity. Because the cloud is moving. The cloud is very white, but the cloud is there. And the purity of the space is not there. The cloudless sky is not there. A cloud may be a black cloud, a sexual thought moving in the mind. Or the cloud may be a white cloud, beautiful, a prayer moving in the mind. But in both the cases, the pure mind is not there. It is impure, clouded. And if the mind is clouded, you cannot move to the heart. This has to be understood. Because with thoughts, you cling in the head. They are the roots. Unless those roots are cut, you cannot fall back to the heart. The child remains in the heart up to the moment only when thoughts crystallize and when thoughts start floating in his mind. Then they take roots. Then through education, culture, cultivation, they become rooted. Then by and by, the consciousness moves from the heart to the head. The consciousness can remain in the head only if there are thoughts. This is basic. If there are no thoughts, consciousness immediately drops back to its original innocence in the heart. Hence so much emphasis on meditation. So much emphasis on non-thinking. Thoughtless awareness. Choiceless awareness. Our Buddha's word, right mindfulness. Just mindfulness without any thoughts. Just being aware. What happens? A very great phenomenon happens because the roots are cut. Immediately consciousness drops back to the heart. To the original place where it was. You become a child again. Jesus says only those who are like children will enter into the kingdom of my God. He refers to such persons whose consciousness has come back to the heart. They have become innocent. Childlike. But the first basic requirement is put mind stuff in such inexpressible fineness. Thoughts can be expressed. There is not a single thought which is inexpressible, or there can be. If it is inexpressible, you cannot think it. If you can think it, it is expressible. So there is not a single thought which you can say inexpressible. The moment you can think it, it has become expressible. You have already expressed it to yourself. Consciousness, pure consciousness is inexpressible. That's why mystics go on saying they cannot express what they know. Logicians always raise the question that if you know, then why you cannot say it? And their argument has meaning and significance. If you really say that you know, then why can't you express? For a logician, knowledge must be expressible. That which can be known can be made known to others. There is no problem. If you have known it, then where is the problem? You can make it known to others. But the mystic's knowledge is not of thoughts. He has not known it as a thought. He has known it as a feeling. So really it is not good to say that I know God. It is better to say I feel. It is not good to say that I have known God. It is better to say I have felt Him. That is a more accurate description of the phenomenon. The knowledge is through the heart. It is like feeling. It is not like knowledge. Put mind stuff in such inexpressible fineness. Mind stuff, consciousness, chitta, is inexpressible. But if a single thought is moving, it is expressible. So, to put mind stuff in such inexpressible fineness means to come to a point where you are conscious, but not conscious of any thought. Where you are alert, but there is no thought moving in the mind. This is a delicate point, and very difficult. And you can miss it easily. We know two states of mind. One, when thoughts are there. When thoughts are there, you cannot move to the heart. Another state of mind we know when thoughts are not there, but when thoughts are not there, we fall asleep. Then too you cannot move to the heart. Otherwise, every day in the night, for a few moments, for a few hours, you fall out of thinking. Thoughts cease. But you don't reach to the heart, because you are unconscious. So a very delicate balance is needed. Thoughts must cease as they cease in deep sleep, when there is no dream. And you must be alert as you are alert while awake. These 2 points must meet. Mind must be as thoughtless as in deep sleep, and you must not be in sleep. You must be perfectly alert, aware. When awareness and this thoughtlessness meet, it is meditation. That's why Patanjali says that samadhi is like susupti. The highest ecstasy, samadhi, is like deepest sleep, with only one difference, that in it you are not asleep. But the quality is the same thoughtless, dreamless, undisturbed, without a single ripple, totally calm and quiet, but alert. When you are aware and there is no thought, you will feel a sudden transformation into your consciousness. The center changes. You are thrown back. You are thrown to the heart. And from the heart, when you look at the world, there is no world. There is only God. And from the head, when you look towards existence, there is no God. There is only material existence. Matter, material existence, the world, and the God are not two things, two outlooks, two perspectives. The same phenomenon looked at from two different centers of being. Put mind stuff in such inexpressible fineness, above, below, and in your heart. Be totally in it, merged, immersed. Simple consciousness, above, below, in the heart. The whole heart surrounded by simple consciousness, not thinking anything in particular, just being aware, with no verb, with no word, with no verbalization, not thinking at all, just being. Put mind stuff above, below, and in your heart, and everything will become possible to you. All the doors of perception will be cleansed. All the doors of mysteries will be opened. Suddenly there will be no problem. Suddenly there will be no misery. As if the darkness has disappeared completely. Once you know this, you can move back to the head, but you will not be the same. Now you can use the head as an instrument. You can work with it. But now you are not identified with it. And even while working with it and looking at the world through it, you know that whatsoever you are seeing is because of the intellect. Now you are acquainted with a higher standpoint, a deeper view. And any moment you want, you can drop back. Once you know the passage, how consciousness drops back, and your age, your past, your memory, your knowledge disappear, and you become a newborn child again. Once you know this, the secret, the passage, you can travel to that point as many times as you like. And you can be refreshed again and again. If you have to move to the head, you can use it. You can move in the ordinary world, working, but not getting involved in it. Because deep down, you know that that which is known by the intellect is partial. It is not the whole truth. And a partial truth is more dangerous than a lie, because it appears to be true, and you can be deceived by it. Some points more, when you move to the heart, you look at existence as a total being. Heart is not departmental. Heart is not a fragment of you. Heart means you in your totality. Mind is a fragment. Hand is a fragment. Leg is a fragment. Stomach is a fragment. The whole body, taken in parts, are fragments. The heart is not a fragment. That's why my hand can be cut, I will be alive. Even my brain can be removed, I will be alive. But if the heart is gone, I'm gone. Really, the whole body can be removed, and if my heart is beating, I'm alive. The heart means your wholeness. So when heart fails, you are no more there. All other things are just parts, disposable. You will remain intact. The center of the heart is the very core of your existence. I can touch you by my hand. That touch will give me certain knowledge about you, about your skin, smoothness or not. The hand will give certain knowledge to me, but that knowledge will be partial, because the hand is not my wholeness.